Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Further Beyond Gaming, and welcome back to another Genshin Impact video. Now for today's video, I did want to talk about the girl Rosaria and the polearms that will be really good for her if you plan on pulling for her and building her up. So I wanted to go through the polearms, kind of discuss them all, and give you my take on what I think are going to be really good ones that you can place on her. I'll give you some alternative options and some main ones that you can look at. But I do hope you enjoy the video. Thank you so much for clicking today, by the way. I do really appreciate it. I hope you enjoy, and let's go ahead and jump straight into it. Alright guys, so like I mentioned, we're going to be talking about the girl Rosaria and speaking about the polearms and just give my advice and 2 cents on what I think are going to be the best ones for her. I'll give you, like I mentioned, also some alternative options and things that you can substitute or look at as well. But once again, if you do enjoy today's video, drop a like, and if you really liked it, go ahead and consider subscribing, join the FBG family. A link to my Discord as well is going to be in the description down below. Join the Discord. We're going to be starting to do some giveaways over there, so this would be the best time to join. And let's go ahead and talk about those polearms. So I'm going to be using Hu Tao as the fill-in here. And we'll talk about the 5 stars first because I think it's pretty straightforward when it comes to the 5 stars with any polearm user. I think those are going to be the option that you go with first. If you have a 5-star polearm, just go ahead and slap that on your Rosaria and it will do perfectly fine, whether it be the Staff of Homa, Primordial Jade, Skyward Spine, or the Vortex Vanquisher that I can't show here because I don't have it. I think either one of those are going to be really good. Staff of Homa, because of the substat of the crit damage, is going to be nice, and the Staff of Homa is just a really good polearm for just about any polearm user, so it's going to work out nice. Primordial Jade, because of the substat of the crit rate, and if you know Rosaria's kit, crit rate is going to be a huge factor within it, so Primordial Jade is a really good option. And then the Skyward Spine, if you're going to run more of like a support ult burst type of build for your Rosaria, this is going to be a sneaky good option. Not to mention you're going to get the attacked your crit rate increase as well as your normal attack speeds, which is really nice for your Rosaria. So I think the Skyward Spine is actually a really good option as well. And then the Vortex Vanquisher, I think is going to be good. Maybe the last one I would look at out of all the 5 stars to place on her, but it's going to be good nonetheless because you're going to get the increased attack. But you're going to want to make sure you have a shield user, of course, so like a Zhongli, Xinyan, your Albedo, things of that nature, a character that's going to be able to provide you with shield Diona. You guys know which ones to go ahead and place. So keep that in mind with the Vortex Vanquisher. But like I mentioned, the 5 stars, I think is pretty straightforward there. Now we can go ahead and talk about the 4 stars. And the Dragon Spine Spear, I know a lot of people are interested about on whether this will be good for Rosaria. And I really think it will be, especially if you're trying to use Rosaria as like a physical damage dealer, DPS type of character on your team. This one is going to be a good option because of the substat of the physical damage bonus that you're going to be getting, as well as the passive where hitting an opponent with normal and charge attacks has a 60% chance of forming and dropping an Everfrost Icicle above them, dealing AoE damage equal to 80% of attack. And then the opponents affected by the cryo are instead dealt damage equal to 200% of attack. And this can only occur once every 10 seconds. I think it's really good, and I think this 4-star is going to be one of the better 4 stars that you can put on her, just on paper and from the substat from what I can see. So I think it's going to be a really good option. The Favonius Lance is, I don't think, going to be the best one, just because I believe how you're going to be using Rosaria, just once again, depending on how you're planning to build her out. I'm not a fan of the energy recharge substat on her, but once again, if you're going for like that ult burst supporty type of build for your Rosaria, it could work out. I'm not saying it can't. It's just, in my opinion, I'm not too particular for this one, for your Rosaria at least anyways. Moving over to the Lithic Spear, I think this is actually going to be a good one for her. Now the substat is attack percentage and she gets attack on her Ascension level up, so keep that in mind. But the passive is what I'm more interested in, and that's for every character in the party who hails from Liyue. The character who equips this weapon gains an 8% attack increase and a 4% crit rate increase. Now, I really like the crit rate increase. Of course, the attack increase is always nice, but the crit rate specifically, because there are some things within Rosaria's kit where having high crit rate or having her crit often is going to be super beneficial, and that's going to be usually within her passive and within her constellations, where you're going to get some benefits from that. but it's going to be really good to stack crit rate on this character specifically for those nice little bonuses that you're going to receive. So really, really good option here. And once again, the attack is nice as well. So the Lithic Spear, I would keep your eye on. If you have this weapon, try it out on her and see how it works. I think it'll be good. Now, some obvious ones that I think go for any polearms are, you know, Deathmatch, Black Cliff. Those are going to be pretty staple as very good options for just about any polearm user because they're so versatile, especially with what they provide in their substat. So for the Deathmatch specifically, you have the crit rate, which once again, we spoke about crit rate. Stacking that on your Rosaria is going to be extremely beneficial and really, really good. And then you have the Black Cliff that has the crit damage. So if you can get a crit rate helm for your Rosaria, then you can go with the Black Cliff and get that crit damage up as well. So really, really good stuff there. Once again, the increased attack and defense is going to be nice for your Rosaria, so I think it's going to be a good option for your deathmatch. And then, of course, the Black Cliff because of the passive on there, defeating an enemy, getting that attack boost, and things of that nature. Really nice, and I think it's always going to be one of those things moving forward for your polearm users. If you have deathmatch, if you have Black Cliff, it's always going to be a good option, just depending on what that character is going to be doing. But I think for the most part, it's pretty much a staple. Moving on from there, the Crescent Pike. Now, I know a lot of people have been talking about the Crescent Pike going to be really good for Rosaria, and I agree because of the substat of the physical damage bonus. Once again, depending on how you plan to build her. If you plan on building her as a physical damage dealer, and one of your main DPSs on your team comp, then this one is going to be really good because of the physical damage bonus. But then after picking up an elemental orb particle, normal and charge attacks deal additional damage equal to 20% of attack for 5 seconds. If you have this refinement ranked up, it's going to be a nasty polearm to place on your Rosaria, so a really good option here. If you have it, I advise using it, especially if you plan on using her as a main DPS or a physical damage dealer. Really good stuff. The Prototype Star Glitter, I'm not a massive fan of this one. Once again, depending on your build, if you're using it for more of like that supportive burst ulti type of build, then yeah, you can utilize it, but not a huge fan for Rosaria specifically. Dragonbane, you're not going to get anything from here, so I don't like that for your Rosaria. And I believe that would be about it for the 4 stars, at least the ones that I would recommend, in my opinion. Now, if we take a look at some of the 3-star ones, which, once again, I don't think they're going to be too useful. Black Tassel, of course not. The Halberd, no, not really. The White Tassel is an interesting option that you can take a look at. I know the White Tassel is always on people's mind, but the crit rate substat is not bad, and the increased normal attack damage is not bad as well. So you can take a look at the White Tassel if you have some refinement ranks on it, but nonetheless, I think you should go with one of the 4 stars. So if you're asking my opinion, slap any 5-star on her. That's going to probably be your best option to go with. I think the Primordial Jade, in my opinion, just taking a look at it, might be the best 5-star to put on her. And then from there, you could go with the Staff of Homa, probably Skyward Spine and Vortex Vanquisher. Probably Skyward Spine and Vortex Vanquisher are like neck and neck, and then Staff of Homa, and then probably Primordial Jade. Just on paper, that could change, but just on paper from what I can see. From there, with the 4 stars, I think Crescent Pike is probably going to be the most beneficial, just depending on your build, and then the Dragon Spine Spear, I think it's going to be a really good option as well. The Lithic Spear is probably going to be very close in tandem with the Deathmatch and the Black Cliff Pole. And that's probably how I would rank them there with the 4 stars. So you have a lot of good options for your Rosaria. The best thing about her is that she's going to be extremely free-to-play friendly because the 4 stars are very nice for her. And there's a lot of good options with the 4 stars. So you have kind of your pick of the litter just depending on what you have on your account. So Rosaria is very flexible, very versatile in that sense, pun intended. And and she's going to be very free to play friendly. So anyways, guys, I hope this video helped. I hope this video gave you an idea of what you might want to use for your Rosaria, just depending on your build and how you're going to use her on your team or on your account. But in the comments down below, let me know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments down below what polearm you're going to try first on her. And let me know if you're going to build her up and have her as a mainstay on your team. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you got something from it. And I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Remember to stand out, be different, have fun, go further beyond in everything that you do. And until next time, my boys, until next time, it's your homie Cody GT. And I'm out. Bye, guys.